So guys, welcome to another video. Today we are indeed gonna talk about the new update, patch notes. This patch notes looks, it looks okay, not too bad, but the Fantastic Four family did just get a lot stronger. So, as we know, Franklin and Valeria has joined MFF, and Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Woman gets a tier 4. I am expecting Human Torch and The Thing to get a tier 4 for mid-month, or maybe even Doctor Doom getting a tier 4 too. So let's check it out first. So, Franklin, you can get him from contribution rewards from Dimensional Mission. So he would be Rachel Summers, Professor X, Abomination, level of hardness to get him, or you could spend $40 and buy him in the a Multiverse Saga pack. I personally think if you are really in need of Richard, still wait for a Crystal event to buy him instead of spending $40, because it's really expensive. It's really expensive. There's also a few mistakes. Technically, Franklin is a mutant. He is not human. So that is a mistake. He has energy projection, mind, and Fantastic Four. And then his leadership, decreased debuff duration, tier 2 passive, super armor, basic defense, skill damage bonus damage 40 and 30, and also decreased basic damage by 30%. His passive applies to Fantastic Four allies, recovers HP for 40%, and increased HP for 7 seconds. Though, do know this cooldown time for this passive is 300 seconds, so it's very long. His first skill has Burn and Paralyze, second skill has Stun, third skill has Silence, Incapatation, all damage immunity, Accumulation. The fourth skill has Burn, Snare, Incapatation, and the fifth skill has Stun, Silence, Incapatation. Okay, I forgot, fourth skill has a Frenzy buff. Fifth skill has increased basic damage by 100% for one attack. Also recovered 30%. So his entire kit has one heal on the fifth skill for 30%. It's not too good, not too bad, but I personally I don't see you using him that often for PvE or PvP, which is actually quite ironic because you'll see below from his artifacts. Okay, so now Valeria is a human female plus superhero, leadership, Fantastic Four her abilities. You can get her from the Multiverse Saga, so she is free. So her leadership applies to Fantastic Four allies, increase 25% HP and basic attack by 55%, which is decent for PvP and PvE. Her tier 2 passive has guaranteed dodge rate, skill damage bonus damage by 35%. Her 4-star passive has dodge rate and ignore target dodge rate. First skill has burn and paralyze. The second skill has stun. It also copies the target to summon illusion, which are 50% of the caster's stat. If you can't summon an illusion, it will just summon a basic illusion, probably just Valeria or something random, like Mystique. Like Mystique's original third skill, but instead of summoning a clone, she turns into the clone for Mystique. And then the clone does have the 50% of Valeria's stats, depending on how well you built her already. The third skill, Fantastic Four Signal, has Snare, Incapatation, Paralyze, Decreased Defense, all damage immunity, increased basic attack. The fourth skill has Burn and Poison, has Invincibility too, and also increased damage by 100% for one attack. The fifth skill has Burn, decreased basic defense, fear and incapatation. She also has a 20% heal, and then a frenzy buff. So Valeria also only has one heal, but instead of 30, she gets 20%. So yeah, that's Valeria. Nothing too special. I don't think you'll be using any of these two too often. Late game, maybe Valeria new game, because she does look like she could do some things maybe. The two new uniforms, falls to Fantastic Four for Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Woman. So, Mr. Fantastic is a superhero combat. Leadership Fantastic Four. He is human, male, and justice. His uniform increases his basic attack and super armor and basic defense. His tier 2 passive has immune to fracture, which is decent. Increased skill damage bonus damage by 40% and decreased damage received. His 4-star passive also recovers 5% of HP with for 2 seconds, has a 5-second cooldown, has elasticity, and decreased physical damage received by 20%. The maximum amount is 20%. So if you can see here, his tier 3 does not change, because there isn't really a description there. So, yeah. Comparing to his old uniform, he gets a 5% attack buff, and also the super armor one is also new. His tier 2 passive, basically stays the same. The skill damage bonus damage is bumped up by a lot though. It's like 20 to 25% bump. It's pretty good. They also changed the elasticity from 10 and 35 max to 20 and 40 max. But they did. Oh, wait, never mind. They didn't remove the heal. The heal is different. 1 second. His first skill has stun. Second skill has incapacitation and paralyze. Third skill has counterattack, so he might have some PvP use. Incapacitation, paralyze, recover 40% HP, which is really good. Since this is actually his skill that probably will do the best in PvP. All the buffs and things are also on here. Penetration, damage immunity, increased basic attack. Fourth skill human whip has stun and incapacitation, paralyze. Stun, incapacitation, and paralyze. Also invincibility. Then the fifth skill has paralyze, decreases defense, and barrier. Also a frenzy buff. So, Mr. Fantastic is I don't think he would overthrow a gladiator at all. He might not even be able to overthrow Black Panther. Actually, it looks like there is a chance, but he's definitely not gonna overthrow Gladiator. Invisible Woman, her uniform effect is actually really, really good. It gives her a lot of PvP value. Yeah, there is PvP value for that because remove all debuffs and immune to all debuffs. It's some really, really good stuff. The uniform effect is completely changed. It's completely different this time. Her transcendent skill damage has been bumped up. Her leadership also changed from debuff, which is moved to a uniform effect, to increase energy attack to all allies. Her tier 2 passive. Okay, so for a tier 2 passive, she loses her guaranteed dodge rate. Instead, it increases her guaranteed crit rate, but only by 20%. The skill damage bonus damage is decreased by about 10 to 50. Wait. The skill damage is decreased by 8%, but the bonus damage over here is decreased by 25%. Her 4-star passive is the same, basically. Her first skill has no buffs. Second skill has stun, remove active buffs. Third skill has charm, accumulation. Fourth skill has snare, incapacitation, and paralyze. Also penetration, and damage immunity, and blah blah blah. And also increase basic attack by 30% for 7 seconds. Lastly, fifth skill has incapacitation, paralyze, Also, a recovery rate for not recovery rate, recovers for HP by 30% for 1 second, and also a frenzy buff. So she actually only has one heal too, also on the 5th skill. I don't know why they put it on the 5th skill, because Fantastic Four. But looking at her previous uniforms, I would say that her skill cooldown. Her skill cooldown did decrease. Yeah, it did decrease. By actually a lot. Especially for the second skill was 7 seconds. It's now actually 9 seconds, but the rest of the skill does have a skill cooldown decrease. Actually, not too much by the looks of it actually. So, Mr. Fantastic's tier 4 has basic attack, ignore damage over max HP, and recovers 10% HP, which is decent for PvP. Invisible Woman has snare, increased basic attack, increased max HP too. So this is Valeria and Franklin's Transcendent skill. They basically have the same buffs, and then this is their skill. So you can see it's like 153 hits over, I think, every single target. Well, actually no. For about 8 targets. So there is only 18-ish hits on each target, which is kind of disappointing. If I didn't do my calculations wrong, of course. Okay, and also Multiverse Saga is the new game mode. The crystal chests have been moved here. And then you are able to proceed to each chapters, but with designated heroes. So, boss is available for the last chapter. Hidden boss is available by clearing certain stages and purchasing the plus pack, which is $40. Really expensive. The first clear reward is here by clearing a stage, and crystal just from Hero Quest is moved here. The next chapter will be unlocked after clearing the normal episodes of each hero's chapter. If chapter time wait exists, agents can play the next chapter after a period of time has passed. And then there is this storyline, right here, and as you can see, you do actually you'd have a restriction on what characters you can use, as said somewhere over here. So the thing is, I don't know if I don't know if they make the stats for you or the stats are applied to your original character, like the original build that you have, because you actually can set your difficulty. So it's really confusing if you get to set your own difficulty. It might be really easy, to be honest. You can get it's not reflected. Agent's account information is not reflected in specifications of hero during play. So these are stuff that will not be reflected. Items that you can get from level 1 include the Valeria bios, and also the new emblems, and also an emblem level up chip or something like that. Yeah, this is the benefits of the plus pack. Really expensive. I really would not recommend buying this. It's really not worth it. Really not worth it. So yep, here are the about the emblem data, which is like this chip right there next to Valeria's bios. Here, quantity of emblem data convert when according to a duplicate emblem, like the same kind of emblem. So these are some looks of the emblems. They look really good, really cool, really excited actually. And you can see each emblem has a special buff that applies to a certain type of content or allies. And you can use emblem data to enhance the levels and eventually the stars. And also the rewards you can get certain rewards like a one-time reward by reaching a certain amount of stars. As you can see at the end, you can get a brilliant CTB, just which is really good. And then also you can also get CTB selectors, P card selectors, which are even artifact selectors, which are really useful if you need some immortality artifacts. Okay. So also every day, for example, for shield, when you reach 12 stars, you do have a daily reward collection things like that. You can collect them every day, and these are the for Spider-Man, these are the chances that for what you can get from tier 2 materials to even tier 4 materials. Is what you can get for Iron Man. Specifically, Spider-Man gives you BAM, gives you CCF, also gives you life seeds. The chances of them all increase and the quantity increase by what level you are. For Iron Man, you get Nonsense of Chaos, EOD, and Carbonadium. Same thing with Spider-Man, it also increases. For Shield, you get BAM, TCP, and Solid Valentine. I personally would say these are all very useful for getting tier 4 materials. For new players, the Shield one might be more useful because of the Solid Valentine. For players later on, they might need Carbo and life seeds also. So overall, I think it's pretty decent system. There's new packs. Some of these you can even acquire. Okay, so these are related to Emblem, a multiversal saga. Multiverse saga. The Valeria Richards upgrade pack and the Franklin upgrade pack is only available for you once you unlock that character. The Emblem starter packs are only available if you clear when clearing the boss of the normal mode in Multiverse Saga. So you basically need progress in that game mode for you to see these stuff. This one you need to do the hard mode to get this, and then appears for a certain period after the first. Yeah. Okay, so we also get a new selector, which is really interesting by the looks of it. It looks really goofy. It's basically a transcendent selector and tier 3 selector combined. It's called support character selector. Well, those are the premium support characters. I'm genuinely kind of confused. Okay, but these two are really easy to get. You just need play Thanos War Boss ones. So I'm not surprised if they're gonna add like leadership character selector or damage dealer character selector. So, time for the artifacts. So I think you should definitely pick up Franklin artifact if you're focusing on PvP team for the Fantastic Four, because it applies to the Fantastic Four allies. It has guard break immunity. It also has immortality. It has recover HP. Also additional HP equal to 0.5%, which is insane. It's a really decent it's a really good artifact for the Fantastic Four, basically. For Valeria, increased damage and basic attack to the Fantastic Four, and then Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Woman's one is ish. Mr. Fantastic has increased damage dealt to enemies with HP 50% or higher by 20%, the damage increase. For Invisible Woman, basically dodge increase and basic attack increase. Then we have a new Future Pass, well, as expected. And then we have special icons. So we know these two, the first two are from the Future Pass. I'm expecting Franklin one's going to be in the event shop, and the Fantastic Four one is going to be in Otherworld Battle. So we're just going to straight jump in this event, this update without an actual pre-release token. It's really interesting, and then some extra things. Hero Quest, as I've talked before, these 3 characters will be in the item shop. Not item shop. Will be in the character shop thing. Now you can change the auto options, give you a higher chance to get what you want, what stats you want on your cards and stuff. This is actually kind of, I don't know, because right here you can see this is actually a fully crafted card. So I think this only applies on the normal options but not the crafted options. Also, you can convert artifacts at the same time, I guess. And yeah, you get an ultimate artifact thing. And yeah, these stuff are basically, yeah. So updates for content wise, I don't know if you can actually call that content if you don't actually get to use your characters. Artifact wise, pretty decent. The emblem wise, pretty good. And yeah, so basically that's the update. By the way, the update does come exactly midnight for people in the where's it? Yeah. For people in the UTC, what is it called? Yeah, the UTC time zone, it's going to be 7 a.m. when the maintenance finish. For PDT, it's exactly midnight again. Yeah. So these stuff, yada yada yada, same thing. So this is over the update. Tell me what you think about it in the description below, and see you guys next episode. Bye.